Most people think retirement means finally dipping into their 401k to help pay their bills. But what if I told you you could retire and not touch that account for 5, 10, or even 15 years? That would mean your nest egg could keep compounding and you'd have more control over your taxes. And you might even leave a bigger legacy for your family. This isn't some never spend a dime fantasy. It is a strategy I've helped real clients use, and today I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Hi, I'm Mark Wisniewski, President of Southern Incomes. For over 20 years, I've helped pre-retirees and retirees create tax-efficient income plans so that they can enjoy their retirement years without unnecessary stress. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to design a retirement where your 401k stays untouched in the early years, letting it keep growing for when you really need that money. If you find this helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more real-world retirement strategies. 1. Understand why you might avoid your 401k early on. Before we talk about how to do it, let's cover why this strategy works for many retirees. Your 401k is tax deferred, meaning every withdrawal counts as taxable income. If you start pulling from it right when you retire, especially if you're in your 50s or your early 60s, you could push yourself into a higher tax bracket than necessary. Reduce your ability to do Roth conversions in low-income years. Trigger IRMA surcharges for your Medicare premiums later in life. Shorten the time your money has to grow tax-deferred. Imagine you retire at 60 with $1.2 million in your 401k. If you leave it untouched for 10 years and it grows at a modest 6% annually, that balance could be over $2 million before you even take $1 out. That's the power of patience, and why delaying withdrawals can make sense if your other income sources can support you in the meantime. 2. Build a bridge account. If all your savings are locked in tax-deferred accounts, you have to pull from them to live, and that means taxes from day one. A bridge account is a taxable investment account that you use to cover living expenses in those early years of your retirement, so you can delay touching your 401k. Think of it as your income bridge between your retirement date and the time that you start drawing from your 401k. The time you start drawing from your 401k, Social Security, or other retirement accounts that you have. This can be a brokerage account invested in a mix of stocks and bonds and other ETFs, a CD ladder or high-yield savings accounts for your short-term needs, a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks or other income-oriented ETFs. For example, let's say you retire at 60 and you want $80,000 a year to live on. Well, let's say you've got $400,000 in a taxable brokerage account. That account could cover 5 years of living expenses without touching your 401k at all, giving that 401k more time to grow and giving you more control over your taxable income. 3. Use Roth accounts strategically. Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks are tax-free for qualified withdrawals. That means you can take money out without adding it to your taxable income. That's a huge advantage for managing your tax brackets. If you have years before your retirement, consider directing some contributions towards the Roth option. Or if you're already retired but under that RMD age, you could also consider Roth conversions, strategically moving money from your 401k or your IRA into a Roth in lower income years. Why this matters: if your Roth grows for another decade while you live off of other assets, you've built a completely tax-free bucket of retirement income that you can use later on for big expenses, or never touch it and pass it on to your heirs tax-free. 4. Turn other assets into income. One reason people tap into their 401k early is because They think they have no other choice. But in reality, many retirees have assets they can use before touching their tax-deferred accounts. Here are a few examples. Rental properties. Monthly income from real estate can replace what you'd otherwise pull from your 401k. Business income, consulting, part-time work, or even monetizing a hobby can generate enough to cover your lifestyle without draining your savings. Annuities. Certain annuities can provide guaranteed income streams starting immediately or after a short delay, reducing your reliance on 401k withdrawals. Downsizing or selling a vacation home. This can free up equity that you can invest in a taxable account for your income. For example, a client of mine retired at 62, or just about 62, but he kept a small consulting business going 2 or 3 days a week. That income, which was about, I'd say, $30,000 a year, combined with rental income from his paid-off duplex, covered all of his expenses. His 401k hasn't been touched in almost 7 years, and it's grown substantially in the background. 5. Delay Social Security if it fits your plan. One of the biggest levers you have in retirement is when you choose to claim Social Security. Most people know you can claim as early as age 62, but many don't realize how much your benefit grows if you wait. For every year you delay beyond your full retirement age, which typically is 66 or 67 for today's retirees, your benefit increases by about 8% per year until age 70. That's guaranteed growth backed by the government. There's nothing else in the retirement world quite like it. Here's why it matters for a don't touch your 401k early strategy. If you can live off of other income sources like your bridge account, Roth withdrawals, part-time income, or rental income, while you delay Social Security, you can lock in a higher lifetime benefit for yourself and potentially for your spouse. Reduce the years you're going to need to draw heavily from your 401k. Use those early years to manage your tax bracket, do Roth conversions, and reduce your future RMDs. For example, let's say your full retirement age benefit is $2,400 per month. If you take that at 62, it might drop to just under $1,700 a month. But if you wait until 70, that same benefit could be about $3,100 per month for life. That's not just a higher monthly check. That's inflation adjusted, which means the difference you get is bigger every year that you live. And for a married couple, that higher benefit can provide a stronger survivor benefit for the spouse who winds up living longer. Important note, this isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. If you have health issues or a shorter life expectancy, claiming earlier may make sense. The right answer depends on your health, your assets, of course your tax plan, and your income needs. But if the math works, delaying Social Security can be one of the smartest moves for protecting both your income and your 401k. Retiring without touching your 401k early isn't about some rigid rule or idea that you're never going to spend it. It is about creating options so that you're not forced into withdrawals at the wrong time, paying more in taxes than you need to, or depleting one account way too early. When you build a plan that uses a bridge account, Roth assets, other income sources, and possibly delaying Social Security, you're putting yourself in control. You decide when and how to use your 401k instead of the calendar or the IRS deciding that for you. Here's the thing, every retiree's mix of accounts, income needs, and tax situation is unique. The difference between a so-so plan and an optimized plan, it can mean tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. No question about it. Not because of some risky investment idea, but because of smart sequencing and tax-aware withdrawals. So my challenge to you is this. Don't just try to wing it and hope that your 401k will last. Build a clear step-by-step income strategy that tells you which account to pull from first, second, third, and why. If you'd like help designing a retirement income plan that lets you keep your 401k growing as long as possible while still enjoying the life that you worked for, book a call with me using the link in the description. Let's make sure your money works as hard for you in retirement as you did to earn it.